Like I said earlier, the FAA is very concerned that the same people who do the work are not the same people who inspect that work. So with flight operations, for example, we don't have the same instructor doing the checking of a student as their instructor who has been flying with them all semester. And it's basically the same for maintenance. And so this regulation requires the air carrier to have specific procedures to keep anybody who actually did the maintenance work from doing the inspection of that work. And they also have a specific requirement to have procedures for shift change, because shift changes are notorious for issues with things being left undone or being done incorrectly and not being caught until there's an incident or an accident. So a couple examples of this. There was a British Airways flight 5390 that had a windshield loss. Or well, actually, let's talk about this one first. British Midland 737 that almost lost all oil pressure in the engines because the previous night's inspections did not actually complete the work correctly. And so the oil basically exited the engine because something had not been closed up properly inside the engine. And the airplane ended up coming in, basically gliding and barely making it on the ground okay. And it was okay, but only just barely. So this was a major problem. Shift change was a culprit. Another example, what you see here on this is actually blood on the airplane, because this was British Airways flight 5390, and they lost a windshield in flight due to the screws that go around this actually being installed as the wrong size in the middle of the night. And this was obviously a problem as the airplane depressurized. The pilot was sucked out of the airplane. The captain was sucked out of the airplane and pinned against the fuselage, and ended up basically he got grabbed by the first officer, who grabbed his feet as they were leaving, and ended up that some flight attendants came in. They luckily had 2 male flight attendants who were really strong, and they kept the captain from getting sucked out of the airplane while the first officer got the airplane on the ground. And amazingly, the captain survived this despite being very badly hurt by being pinned against the side of the airplane while the first officer got the airplane on the ground. But this was all traced back again to shift changes and improper inspections being done after the work was done, and work being done in a darkened hangar, not being able to see screw sizes, and variety of different things. But again, it's important that these things are documented and taken into the manuals by the air carriers, because they are responsible for how the work is being done on the airplane that is being done in an airworthy manner.